Traveling with an expired green card. Gonna get back into that a little bit and share a personal experience. So you don't want to miss that, especially if you are in that situation right now and are planning to travel. So stick around. Hey guys, welcome back. It's been a while. Here I am in front of the camera again in New Jersey. If you figured out by now, we're back. We're not in the Philippines anymore. Unfortunately, not to worry, I do have a lot of video that I've got to go through, so there'll be some videos coming up from the Philippine trip still, and we're already planning our trip for next year, so not to worry. And I have some house updates coming too. The new house project continues. But what I wanted to do this video about, and I did mention it in the community section of the channel, is while we were traveling, and I don't know if you guys remember, I did a video before we traveled, because the situation that my wife was in was this. She first arrived in the U.S. on a CR1 visa, which is difference between the two, K1 fiance visa and CR1 visa. As you all know, the K1 visa is the fiance visa. That's when you establish your relationship with your foreign fiance, and you come back to the U.S. and petition the U.S. government to bring that fiance to the States, and they give you 120 days to get married in that time. The CR1 visa, which is the option that we went with, was I went to the Philippines and I got married there. We were able to make that work, and it was much easier, and it actually cuts in half the activity that's required, because in the K1 visa, when you come here and you get married, then you have to go and do all the processing to adjust your status. So that's the more or less the CR1 version of it, with you already here in the country, in a nutshell. I'm sure I'll be corrected in the comments, but to me that's what it seems like, and from what our immigration attorney explained, basically you cut the work in half by getting married over there. So if you can do that. But let's get back to, so that's a little bit of the background. So she arrived here on the CR1 visa back in January of 2018. They give you a 3-year conditional green card, which she got upon arrival. So we were required, I think it was 6 months before the expiration, we had to apply for the conditions to be removed from the green card and have a 10-year unconditioned non-conditional green card issued, which we at the end of 2019 started that process, which still gave us time on the green card, which is why the instructions tell you to start it sooner. But with that, as you guys all know, especially if you're in a situation where you're doing any business with USCIS, they're turtle slow. They're very slow. COVID really threw a wrench into everything. So fast forward, things cleared up this year with the travel requirements. If you guys are watching this, you're into the Philippines, so you've been following it. Maybe you've been there already and back like us, or you're planning to go. So you've been in tune with all the COVID era the hoops and hurdles that you had to jump through and over to travel to the Philippines during COVID. And us being healthcare workers, we waited until that was all good and we went. But the problem that we had was the card had expired during that time, and we, like I said, the end of 2019, We have an attorney. We did all the processing. We paid our legal fees to the attorney to prepare all the documents, and we paid the fees to the U.S. government for the new green card. We didn't know if we were going to have to go to our local office, USCIS office, to do an interview or not. So once we did that and the card expired, we were issued a letter that extended it 18 months, I think it was. And you basically had to carry this letter around with your expired green card. So long story short, that whole 18 months came and went. COVID, we found ourselves in a situation where we want to book a trip and we have no proof of her, legal permanent status. And just so you know, when you're in that limbo area, until your case is adjudicated, you're still legal. You're still legal. It's just a matter of having proof to show if you're working and having proof to show if you want to travel. And those are the two biggest things. So if you're in that limbo gray area, you're not traveling and you're not working, you really just lay low and wait for word. I mean, it's basically what happens. But we knew, the attorney advised us to go down to our local, call up and make an appointment to our local field office to get this I-551 temporary evidence stamp. I'll put a link to the video I did about that, explaining how that all went down. And we went and did that, I think it was in August. We went and did that. I think it was in August. We went and did that. But that went very well. And there was a issue for our case where apparently they had approved her green card and removed the conditions, but there was a letter that they had sent that got returned for some reason. So there was a little bit of a gray area there. And when she went for the stamp, it didn't come up. And at that point in August, we were just kind of worried about getting the stamp so we could get back to the Philippines. So we've been in contact with our attorney. And long story short, so let's get to, we get the stamp already, and now we go on the trip. As you guys, if you're following the channel, you know, we went on the trip. We had a great trip. Go back and check out all our Philippines 2022 videos if you want to catch up. They're great videos, and again, I got a lot more content coming. I just trying to process it now that I went back to work. It's just a little bit slow, and I apologize for that. But I did have some people reach out to me and ask what to bring, how did it go, re-entering the U.S. with the expired green card and this I-551 stamp. For those of you who don't know, it's just, it looks like a notary. It's pressed into a page on their if I can find a picture, I'll post a picture here. It's pressed into the page of the passport, and it has an expiration date. So you can actually use that if you're booking airfare. Once you have that, you know, I know we flew Singapore Airlines, and I set us all up for the flight, so I was able to put all her information in, and it asked for a visa number or whatever, for her status in the U.S., and I was able to put that in, and it accepted it. So once you get that stamp, you're all good. But it's a 1-year stamp, so we got that for 1 year. So that was in August. So we went on the trip, and I'm going to tell you guys how it went re-entering the U.S. And this is for those who are in that situation, and I would imagine nowadays there's a lot of people in that situation. So fast forward, we're on our way back. The first instance where my wife was asked to produce a green card was in Singapore. We were getting ready to board the flight back to Newark, New Jersey. I made the mistake of not getting online ahead of her and making it known that we're traveling together. This is my wife, and she has an expired green card, but she has a temporary evidence stamp. So they did give her a little bit of a hard time, and I quickly stepped up, explained, and then, oh, okay, you're traveling together, and they let us right through. So I will say to the other couples out there, if you're in that situation, whoever the U.S. citizen or is, take the lead and step up first and let them know that you're traveling together and that your spouse has an expired green card but has a valid extension temporary evidence stamp in their passport, and just how, you got to have all that stuff ready in your hand when you're getting on board flights and stuff like that. So that went fine, and we went through by the way, if you've never traveled through Singapore, it's an excellent transit airport. I really liked it there. They don't have like a main hub security where everybody funnels into for the international flights. They open up security checkpoints at each gate. So like we got there a little bit early for the flight back to Newark after we flew from Manila back to Singapore. And we had there was all seats outside and the lights were off, but they have the conveyor with the x-ray to view the bags and all that. And we waited, and the security team showed up, and they turned the lights on and they unlocked the door. So basically, the only people going through that security are the people on the flight with you. So it's not like, sometimes it can be chaotic in some airports when you go through that international security checks. So I would recommend, if you're going to the Philippines, check out Singapore Airlines and consider that as a transit. We don't like, and I've gotten the comments about Philippine Airlines. We're not fans of Philippine Airlines for the long haul product. We think they need to work on that a little more. The premium economy is very expensive, because some people have suggested, well, why don't you take the premium economy? Why should I take the premium economy on Philippine Airlines that's mediocre and pay this much when I can get on Singapore Airlines, which is excellent premium economy, and it's just a little bit more than economy price? So for me, I'm sold. I'm a fan of Singapore Airlines now. But back to our re-enter experience. So we get back to Newark after our nearly 19-hour flight. It's a long flight. If you're not into long flights, that might be a deal breaker for you, but it's a long flight. I liked it. I loved it. Great airplane, great crew. Awesome. So we get back, and my wife reminded me, she said, listen, you go first and tell them my situation. So obviously, we didn't know what to expect. And we chose to travel. Now, for us, we have a choice. We can do Newark Liberty. We're close enough to JFK, and we can even do LaGuardia. So we got the three big New York area airports that are right in our area. I mean, but Newark is super close. And we choose that one because it's just a lot more humane, the security and all that, compared to JFK. So we're a little more relaxed than when we came in through JFK, because we came in through JFK in 2019, and she had the extension letter then, and they were just not as nice as these folks were in Newark. So we get online and we're directed to the immigration counter. I go first, and it was a young lady agent, and I handed her my passport. She asked me where we were traveling from. I said, we're coming in from the Philippines via Singapore. I said, I am traveling with my wife, who's a Filipino national, and a legal permanent resident of the United States who has an expired green card, but she's carrying a valid extension stamp on her passport. Oh, okay. So they checked me all in, had her step up, and they took her information and they said, okay, you're going to take a couple steps to the back, and there's an office right there. And she pointed, the door was a few steps away. It was another office that we went into. They held her passport. Another officer took the passport, and they directed us to have a seat inside. All this is like 6 o'clock in the morning. The flight arrived at like 5:30 a.m. On a Friday morning. So we have a seat inside and wait for our name to be called. And there was a couple other couples in there like us. They call our name. Step forward, asked a few simple questions, and the agent, he asked her if she's working, and I said yes, and I mentioned the company that we work for, which is very well known in the state, in New Jersey. So he knew, oh, okay. He then went on to update us on the case, and he told her, he said, your status you've been approved, your conditions have been removed, and your new green card has been okayed. He said, however, which we already knew, he went on to tell us about the letter that was sent and returned. So, we said, okay, so we knew we get back, we really, we got to call and find out what's up. Well, actually, I don't think she realized what he said, because I explained it to her a couple more times. I said, no, he basically said your case has been adjudicated and we're good. It doesn't even sound like we're going to have to go for an interview. Because, wondering, sometimes it said that when we checked her status online, it said that they were pending an interview appointment. So we thought we were going to have to go for an interview, which some people do have to do. But obviously that wasn't the case. So that's really all it was. Now, I will tell that a couple people that reached out to me about this, various means, but I'm fine. I was happy to help them. I hope I put them at ease. In fact, somebody even commented in the comments of the other video, and I commented back and forth to them that I put them at ease sharing the information, which is why I'm doing this video, just to share the experience, because I know there's a lot of you that are in this same experience, in this same situation, and anything you can hear from somebody who just went through it, definitely put your mind at ease. But so that was it. And then just to update you all on my wife's status, as I'm filming this, this is like the Sunday before Thanksgiving. Last night, and my wife has been working like marathon double shifts since we got back. That's another thing too. We're full-time healthcare employees, which is why, again, and I apologize, I lapse a little bit sometimes on getting the long form videos out. Even though they granted us a month off, trust me, we're paying dearly for it now in other ways. But nevertheless, let me tell you what happened last night. So Saturday night, this was Saturday before Thanksgiving, picking her up. She's working a double, so I went to sleep for a few hours, got up around 11 p.m. To go and pick her up. And as I'm walking out the door, I could see there's mail in the mailbox. I look in there, and there's a smaller priority mail envelope, and it's got her name on it, and I could feel there's a card in it. And I said, that's her green card. So I put that in the house, and we have two mailboxes. This is a two-family house that we live in. And I checked the other mailbox on my way out, and I see a letter from USCIS. I said, okay. I said, she got her green card. So I dropped it back in the box, went to pick her up. And when she came back, I handed that one to her, And she came in and proceeded to open up both. And indeed, she got her 10-year green card, as this officer had indicated just about a month ago when we came back from the Philippines. So hallelujah, the missus has her 10-year green card now, since applying for it in December of 2019. So just sharing that so you all know that it takes a long freaking time. Be patient, guys. For me, I think just us going through getting the stamp, coming, re-entering the country, we also let them know. I mean, the real reason we went for the stamp, I mean, obviously we had a trip pending, but the primary reason was my wife's a healthcare worker, and she needed to show proof of her status to continue working. That's just, part of the deal. But anyway, so that's where we're at with that, and I wanted to share that experience with you guys. If you know anybody who's in that situation where they have a spouse, or maybe they're the person, they have, in the process of renewing a green card, maybe they're renewing a 10-year green card, or they lost a green card, or they're like my wife, where the initial conditional green card was issued, and you were in between those, renewing that one, because that's a big one. Because when they get those conditional green cards, it's very hard for them to do anything. It's hard for them to open a bank account. It's hard for them to get a credit card. It just makes it, that those were the little things that we encountered that, and my wife went right to work when she came here by her choice. I didn't make her go to work. It was her choice, which is a good thing. She wanted to work. She was working when I met her. She was an OFW in Hong Kong when I met her. She took a little time off. We married. As soon as she came here, she went to school and went right to work with the hospital. So that's how we're funding, her and I, our projects in the Philippines. We're not independently wealthy. We're not full-time bloggers with 500,000 subscribers making an income off of YouTube and TikTok. We just do it because we enjoy doing it. I actually enjoy making the videos and sharing the information with you guys. So with that, we're going to wrap this one up. I hope you guys liked it. I hope somebody finds it helpful. Share it with anyone. As I was saying, if you are that person with that expired green card, if you know somebody that's in that situation, and they're unsure and uneasy about what's it going to be like, or about the stamp, that they can get the stamp, share this video with them. And if you liked it and you're happy that I made this video, give it a like. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Subscribe to the channel and click that bell notification icon so you get notified of all our future uploads. Like I said, I got a lot more footage from the Philippines. I'm going to be getting that stuff edited and getting that stuff out to you guys. Also, within the next few months, I'm going to be booking the trip for next year. As soon as we got to get back, I'll be sharing the updates with you guys on the new house. And also, guys, the house that we currently have, that we stayed in, that one is going to be available for rent or sale. That's in Pavia, Iloilo. It's very well set up. Go back, watch the house tour. Check that one out. Share it with anybody you think might be interested in renting that place or buying that place. That's going to be coming up soon too, because the family is going to be moving into the new place within the next couple of months. So that's going to be, we're going to get some video from the family uploaded from, sent over from them. We'll be sharing that with you guys too. So a lot of stuff's going to be going on between now, even though we're back here in the States, there's going to be stuff going on. So definitely subscribe, definitely click that bell icon, and keep up with what's going on if you so desire to. And we appreciate and hope that you do. So thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel. And as we always like to say here at USA to Philippines Life channel, wherever you guys are in the world, stay well, stay safe, and stay blessed. And we'll see you real soon with another video. Thank you so much for watching.